Dear students, how are you? I think you all are fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. This is Laban Sharkar. I am also fine. Today I am here to conduct a class on chapter 8, and you know all the name of the chapter is the democracy of Bangladesh and the election. And this is the second and last class on this chapter. So dear students, before the start of our today's class, I would like to ask two questions, and these two questions are very easy to answer. My first question is, the government of the state is run by which organizations? Here I will give you two options. Option A, non-government organization, and option B, political party. My second question is, which one is counted as the most important element of democracy? Here I will give you two options. Option A, public opinion. Option B, elections. Now I will give you 10 seconds to remember the answers of these two questions. So dear students, I think you have got the answers of these two questions. Okay. So the answer of the first question is option B, that means political party, and the answer of the second question is option B also, that means elections. So dear students, we have come in the main point of our today's class. That means today I am here to conduct this class on political party and election. So dear students, before the start of the main part of our today's class, I would like to show our today's learning outcome. After the class, we will be able to define political party. Then we will be able to define the aims and objectives of the political parties. Then we will be able to describe the role of the political parties in democracy. And at last, we will be able to describe the formation and functions of the Election Commission of Bangladesh. So dear students, let's get started of our today's class. At first, I am going to discuss about political party. So what is called political party? Basically, political parties are the legal organizations which want to form government so that they can distribute the national resources, they can run the state. Again, I am going to tell you the definition of political party. Basically, political parties are some legal organization which want to form government so that they can distribute the national resources, at the same time they can run the state. Okay. So now I am going to show the definition of political party on screen. So this is the definition of political party. A political party is defined as an organized group of people that tries to assume power in a lawful manner by propagating their political manifesto and forming public opinion. This is highly pragmatic definition on political party, and you can write this definition on your answer script. Definitely you will get very good marks in your examination. So dear students, now I am going to show some of the key things that will help you to understand the political party more perfectly. First information regarding political party is organization of group of people. All the political parties are the organizations of the group of people. So this is the first information regarding political party. Second information regarding political party is legal organizations. The political parties will be the legal organizations, and they will do everything according to the constitution. So this is the second key thing on political party. Next on is main aim to form government. All of the political parties will try to form government, and this is the main aim of a political party. So this is another important key thing regarding political party. Last information regarding political party is follow legal way to get power. That means a political party will try to form government in legal way, not in illegal way. So these are the things, these are the vital things regarding political party, and these things will help you to understand political party smoothly. Okay. So dear students, now I am going to show some of the definitions of the political party given by some intellectual. At first, I am going to show the definition of the political party given by Professor Gödel. According to Professor Gödel, a political party consists of a group of citizens more or less organized who act as a political unit and who by use of their voting power aims to control the government and carry out their general policies. Here group of citizens means a political party is an organization of a group of people. Here control of government, that means a political party will try to form government, and general policies, that means political party's manifesto. Here you can ask me what is called the political manifesto. Political manifesto means some promises of a political party to common people. Now I am going to show the second definition given by McIver. According to McIver, we may define political party as an association organized in support of some principles or policies which by pro-constitutional means it endeavors to make the determinant of the government. Here association means the organizations, and principles or policies means the political party's manifesto, and pro-constitutional means that means a political party will do everything according to constitution, and determinant of the government, that means all of the political parties will try to form government. Okay. So these two definitions are very important for knowledge based questions, so you have to give much attention on these two definitions. Okay. So dear students, now I am going to discuss about the objectives of the political parties. First of all, to identify the problems of the country. So this is the most important objectives of the political parties, that all of the political parties will try to identify the problems of the country. Okay. Next objective is to make programs and policies to solve the problems, and a political party will try to solve the national problems in decent way, in legal way. Okay. Next objective of the political party is to achieve national progress and development of the country, and all of the political parties will try to achieve national progress, and they will do everything for the development of the country. They will do everything for the welfare of the common people. So this is the thing. Number 4, to assume power through a systematic legal electoral process, and all of the political parties will try to form government in legal way, or not using illegal way. So these are the objectives of the political parties. Okay. So dear students, now I am going to discuss about the roles of the political parties in a democratic system. So at first I want to say something about democratic system, though I have already discussed about democratic system in my first class on the chapter. Basically, democracy is a form of government where all the citizens of a country take part in government process either directly or indirectly. Okay, and there are two types of democracy. One is direct democracy and another is indirect democracy, and most of the countries of the world are practicing indirect democracy as their government system. Okay, so dear students, now I am going to discuss about the roles of the political parties in democratic system. First of all, to participate in election. Okay, so in democratic system, all of the political parties will try to participate in elections. So this is one of the roles of the political parties in democratic system, and election is one of the vital elements of democracy. And number 2, to nominate the candidates, and all of the political parties will give nomination to their candidates to participate in different types of election. Okay. Number 3, to convince the voters. Then the political parties will try to convince the voters so that they can win in election and they can run the government. Next thing is that to form government, and this is the prime aim and objective of a political party, to form government in legal way. Okay. Number 5, to influence citizens to participate in politics and develop a political consciousness. The political parties will try to make conscious about the politics of the common people. So this is one of the roles of the political parties in our democratic system. So dear students, now I am going to discuss about the role of the opposition political party. So here I am going to share one thing with you. Basically, there are two types of political parties. Okay, one is ruling political party and another is opposition political party. So ruling political party means a political party which runs state according to constitution, and opposition political party or opposition political parties are the political parties which don't run the state directly, but they help to run the state by constructively criticizing the ruling political party. Okay, so first on is to make parliament active. So all of the opposition political parties will try to make parliament active by their presence in parliament. Number B, criticize government constructively. That means all of the opposition political parties try to criticize the work of the government constructively. Okay. Number C, to make conscious about the unlawful activities of the government. So this is one of the prime activities of the opposition political parties to make awareness about the unlawful activities of the government, okay, to the common people. And next one is to help government in national progress. And this is not fair that opposition political parties will criticize the activities of the government always. Okay, but the opposition political parties have to support the government in national progress. Okay, so that's all about the roles of the political parties in a democratic system, and this topic is very, very important for creative question. So you have to give much attention on this topic. So dear students, now I am going to discuss about election. So what is called election? Basically, election is a process where all of the political parties try to get the support from the common people so that they can form government, they can run the state, they can distribute the national resources. On other hand, we can say election is a process where the citizens of a country elect their representatives who can run the state according to the constitution. So dear students, now I am going to show the definition of election on screen. So this is the definition on election. Election is a process by which the legal political organization try to form government power so that they can get the power to distribute the national resources. Dear student, this definition is highly pragmatic definition on election, and you can write down this definition in your answer script when you will write down the answer of a question regarding election. Definitely you will get full marks in your examination. So dear student, now I am going to discuss about the types of election. Basically, there are two types of election. One is the direct election and another is the indirect elections. At first, I am going to discuss about the direct election. Basically, direct election is such an election where all of the citizens or all of the eligible citizens can elect their representatives directly. Okay, so now I am going to show the definition of the direct election. So this is the definition. The electoral system through which the voters cast their votes directly and elect their representatives is called the direct election. Okay, so now I am going to discuss about the indirect election. So indirect election is election where the citizens, the voters cannot elect their representatives, cannot basically they cannot elect their head of the state or head of the government by using their voting rights directly. Okay, at first they elect their representatives and they are called the electoral college or midterm agency. Then this midterm agency elect the head of the state or head of the government. Okay, and this system is highly practiced in the USA. Now I am going to show the definition of the indirect election. So this is the definition. The indirect election system is an electoral process in which the voters casting their votes directly from a midterm electoral agency known as electoral college, and the electoral college finally the formally elects representative or the president. Okay, so this is the definition on the indirect election. So dear students, now I am going to discuss about the Election Commission of Bangladesh. Okay, first of all, and the Election Commission of Bangladesh consists of a chief election commissioner and other election commissioners. Okay, so this is the first information regarding the Election Commission of Bangladesh. Second information regarding the Election Commission of Bangladesh is all of the election commissioners are appointed by the President of Bangladesh. So this is the information. The President appoints the chief and other election commissioners. Next information regarding Election Commission of Bangladesh is the tenure of the commission is 5 years. Okay, and last information regarding the Election Commission of Bangladesh is the commissioners may submit resignation to the president. Okay, so that's all about the Election Commission of Bangladesh. Okay, and all of this information is highly important for MCQ questions. So dear student, now I am going to discuss about the functions of election commissions, and this topic is highly important for creative question. First of all, to declare the election schedule. So dear student, at first you have to understand what is called election schedule. Basically election schedule means the announcement regarding any upcoming election by the election commission. Okay, and to declare the election schedule is one of the functions of election commission. Next function is to prepare the voter list, and you know, to arrange an election is very difficult task. Okay, to prepare the voter list is one of the functions of election commission. Next function is to determine the constituencies. Dear students, here you have to understand what is called constituency. Constituency is the electoral area. Okay, and you know, in our national elections there are 300 constituencies. Okay, next, to appointment the returning officer. So just at first you have to understand who are called the returning officers. Basically returning officer is responsible for each electoral area. Okay, number 5, to distribute the nomination papers. Okay, so the election commission distribute the nominations papers of nomination seekers from different political parties. Okay, next point is to receive and sorting out of the nomination papers. Okay, after distribute the nomination papers, the election commission collects nominations papers from the nomination seekers from different political parties. Okay, and after sorting out they distribute, basically the election commission distribute the nominations papers to the nomination seekers again. Okay, then to distributions of the symbols among the candidates. This is one of the functions of the election commission. Next function is to print out the ballot papers. Okay, so this is very easy to understand. Next function is to fix the polling booths and making necessary arrangements. So here if you have to understand what is called the polling booth. Basically polling booths are the places where the voters cast their votes. Okay, And next thing is that appointing presiding, assistant presiding, polling officer, distributing ballot papers, holding election, computing votes, and declaring formally the results are the usual activities of the election commission. Okay. So dear students, here presiding officer is responsible for particular election center. Okay. And then assistant presiding officer is responsible for each booth, and polling officer are the assistants assistant, and they help the assistant presiding officer in each booth. Okay. So that's all about the functions of the election commission. Dear student, again I am going to tell you this topic is highly important for the creative question. So dear student, now I am going to discuss about the electoral codes of conduct. So at first you have to understand what are called the electoral codes of conduct. So basically electoral codes of conduct are some of the rules and regulation imposed by the election commission to the candidates of different political parties, okay, who are participating in different types of elections. So now I am going to show some of the electoral codes of conduct of Bangladesh. Number 1, no political party will not collect any subscriptions during election time. Basically after the declare of the election schedule, no political party will not collect any subscriptions from any person or any institution. Number 2, no political party will give any promise to voters. After the declare of election schedule, no political party will give any promise to voters. Okay. Next on, no candidate will make any problem to another candidate's campaign. Okay, and all of the candidates will get equal rights to for their election campaign. Okay, and here any candidate will not create any bar or any resistance to another candidate. Okay. Number 4, no mass meeting will happen roadside. Okay. Number 5, candidates will not use any government resource in campaign. That means a candidate will not use any government resource like government bungalow or government car, okay, in election campaign. Number 6, to abstain from all writing in any form. Okay. Number 7, no say striking religious feelings during election time. During election campaign, a candidate will not use any religious feeling to convince the voters in election. Next on is to carry any kinds of firearms and explosive is illegally punishable. Okay. So dear students, that's all of the electoral codes of conduct of Bangladesh. Okay. Now I am going to discuss about the penalty for violation of electoral codes of conduct. Number 1. Before showing number 1, I would like to show this information, that means RPO. So what is the full form of RPO? RPO means representations of the people order, and it was ordered by the president in 1972, and by this RPO the penalty for violation of electoral codes of conduct has described. Okay. So number 1, to violate the rules relating to election expense. Okay. Number 2, to receive any bribe or gifts. Number 3, to cast false vote or with pen name. Number 4, to influence the election unfairly. Okay. Number 5, to exercise any false play concerning the personal characters of a candidate. Number 6, to make or publish a false statement relating to the symbol allocated to any candidate. Number 7, to make or publish a false statement on the withdrawal of candidature by any candidate. And number 8, to cause any person present or waiting to vote at the polling station to depart without voting. So these things are very easy to understand, and here no need to describe these things. Okay. So dear students, now I am going to discuss about the penalty for offenses. Okay. For candidates, if any candidate violate the courts of conduct of election, and he may get jail more than 2 years, and not less than 10 not less than 2 years and not more than 10 years. Okay. And for electoral officers and employees, okay, no complaint may be instituted against the electoral officer in charge employees without permissions from the election commission in written. Okay, so that's all about the penalty for offenses, and this information is important for MCQ question. So dear students, now I am going to start the new part of our today's class, that means the evaluation part. Here you will ask some basically I am going to ask some questions to you, and you have to give the right answers of these questions. So my first question is, what is called the political party? Basically, political party is a legal organization which want to form government, so that they can form government and they can distribute the national resources. Number 2, what is election? Basically, election is a process by which all of the political parties try to get the support from the common people, from the voters, so that they can form government, they can distribute the national resources. Number 3, how many types of elections are there? Basically, there are 2 types of elections. One is a direct election and another is indirect election. Number 4, what is the direct election? Basically, direct election is such an election where all of the citizens, all of the voters elect their representatives by using their voting rights directly, like in our national election. Number 5, what is the indirect election? Basically, indirect election, all of the citizens, all of the voters don't elect their head of the state or head of the government directly. At first, they elect their representatives, who are called the electoral college or midterm electoral agency. Then this midterm electoral agency or electoral college elect the head of the state or head of the government on behalf of the common people, and this system is highly practiced in the USA. Okay, so that's all about the evaluation part of our today's class. Now I am going to give some homeworks. So you have to write down the role of the political parties in democracy. Then you have to write down the functions of the election commission. Okay, and after the open your school, open your class, you have to submit the answers of these 2 questions to your respective teacher. So dear students, if you want to watch more video classes, you have to subscribe my YouTube channel. The name of my YouTube channel is Lavon BGS Tutorial, and here you will get all of my video classes on your book. So dear students, thank you very much for watching me with your kind passion. Next time, see you again. Till then, Allah Hafiz.